Morning, folks. My roundup of the last 2 days of abysmal news in India as far politically is concerned. We seem to be sinking to new depths. However, the Supreme Court is rising to the occasion, and D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India, is coming out with some faslas, as they say, which are actually cornering and nailing the government, and also leaving very little wriggle room for the spin masters and the PMO, right? Especially all the trolls and the bugs, right? And the matter that really seems to have caught the imagination of the people like Nirbhaya, or what has happened to the wrestlers and how these girls are out there struggling with some support from fellow wrestlers. But abysmally, what I've seen is that our cricket stars, there's just nobody except the ones that have retired, that is like Virender Sehwag and Kapil Dev and Harbhajan Singh, who've come out strongly with them. But where's Sachin Tendulkar? Just see what kind of a wimp he is, a wimp. Cricketer, yeah, par excellence, absolutely. What about the rest, right? What it tells you is that anybody who has anything to lose doesn't have the guts to come out and say it like it is. So that can only mean one thing, that they are scared of the government, and that's really not good for the democracy. And this really plumbed new depths. Protest not good for India's image, says Usha, wrestlers dismayed. PT Usha was the first medalist in the Asian Games for India, a lady. And anybody of my age will remember her complaints and her constant complaints against male oppression and male coaches and male the federation. And now, just because she's become the Rajya Sabha MP, this is what she does. Let's forget athletes down. She lets women down, and that's probably the problem that's happening with all women who eventually end up joining the BJP. They just lose it, right? Abandoned, says wrestlers, as IO chief Usha slams protest. Vinesh says, why top cricketers, others silent, are you also afraid? This is exactly like I said, and she called it out, right? After she did this, at least Kapil Dev, Virender Sehwag, Harbhajan Singh came out, right? Congress files police complaint against Shah over riots remarked during rally. And this is what I said. He blatantly said that if the Congress came to power, there will be riots. Now, you can say, and what it reads is the Home Minister, who's responsible for internal law and order, is saying this means basically he controls the strings, and that's the message goes out to the rest of the world, right? Rajnath doesn't shake hands with Lee, signals deep chill in Chinatown. This is what should have happened between Modi and Xi during the meeting that they had in Indonesia. In fact, he jumped over everybody to shake Xi's hand. But this also shows internally a division. First, Rajnath is in a hard place, right? As a defense minister, he really can't go and shake hands with a country's defense minister who's sitting on a whole bunch of 20,000 square kilometers of a land and threatening you regularly, right? And on the other hand, and this, right, another Mahathak, man arrested in UP and many IDs cheated by faking PMO excesses for FIR, Sanjay Rai Sherpuria. This also, Sherpuria's arrest suggests, besides anything else, a war between Yogi and the center here, because this has been done by the UP police. But listen, Mahathaks, the first Mahathak from Gujarat who ran rampant in a sensitive state like Kashmir, and now another Mahathak. And what's the commonality? All claim access to the PMO, including pictures with everybody, including the PM and the HM, right? Modi hits out at Congress reveries in Karnataka pitch. Their reveries are actually social justice, folks. You may call it whatever you want, right? And now let's see, after this was happening yesterday, what's today? Finally, cops filed 2 FIRs against WFI chief, one of them under POSCO. Interesting. Then you have another interesting one, and a lot of good decisions came from the Supreme Court yesterday. Another one was this: act swiftly against hate speeches or face contempt SC to state. So let's see what happens there. Then this is another one. Why were Atiq and his brother paraded before media, says Supreme Court? And then they have another one. And the BJP, then going off on what Khadge had said, says BJP MLA likens Sonia to Wish Kanya. And as an agent of China and Pakistan. I'm not sure whether that's really calls for anything that is smart, right? It's also cutting your own feet. You're on one side you wanted to use Kharge's comment, and I don't see you doing that at all, right? With this kind of comment. Because Karnataka is not Gujarat. In Karnataka, Sonia Gandhi has the fan following that these guys hope and wished they had. And this is what I find the other really good one, right? Against the Chief Justice of Bengal. After Cal High Court judge's TV interview, Supreme Court takes away Abhishek's case from him and brings it all to him. I hope, like I said, they do the same for Rahul Gandhi. Bring it back from Gujarat, because after those abysmal judgments from the lower courts, now what you had that the Chief Justice of the Gujarat High Court, this lady, has recused herself, giving way to another guy who was Prime Minister Modi's lawyer. So you can expect this decision to go the same way. Now Hindustan Times, what did that have, right? Hindustan Times had 3 orders in one day in legal drama over Bengal High Court judge. This, police book wrestling chief after SC steps in, will protest still, Brij Bhushan arrested, don't trust police. And they're absolutely right. Priyanka Gandhi was out there. She made a very, very strong statement. She said he must be forced to resign from his path, because that's where it's all at, right? And this one, file hate speech cases even if no complaint. That, folks, is where it is at, because now the Supreme Court is going to take suo moto notice and justice of everything and anything that seems to be hate, right? SC questions UP over Atik security cover, and they should, right? And they absolutely should, because you can't, I mean, you were parading him, you were already almost setting him up to be killed. And SC has last word after Cal HC judge interview Rao. And that I thought was very interesting. And Nitish defends release of XMP. That I'm not sure why. We'll read about that at another time. Kharge remark, Rao heats up, Shah steps up attack on Congress. But Shah's attacks are, like I said, hardly understandable in Karnataka, because his Hindi anyway leaves much to be desired. What does Indian Express say? Leads with, man held for faking PMO access, lent money to JNK, LG got okay for subsidy. Lent rupees 25 lakhs to Manoj Sinha. Lent, you really mean? I can say bribed Manoj Sinha, right? And after SC prodding, 2 FIRs, wrestlers say won't rest until WFI chiefs arrested. Then you have Vinesh outrage, prompt stars to lend their voice, pained hope for justice. Priyanka Gandhi was out there and she made some interesting and impressive remarks, and I think that kind of cornered the government. What I find really, really interesting here is a note by Neerja Chaudhary. The column, she may be right, but I think she's way off the base, because she says Mandal 2.0 and why opposition may not be able to write it like the last time. I think this time they'll write it way better, because of the discrimination that's happening, the disparity of income, the unemployment, and the sheer stress will make sure that'll happen. Then what do we have? CBI questions former Governor Malik for 5 hours over corruption allegation. Hey, and this is the beauty. BJP plans 4 lakh venues for 100th episode of PM's Mann Ki Baat. I just hope I'm not in a car at that time and listening to my radio, because I'll have to shut it off just like usual. Are you forcing people to listen to Mann Ki Baat, Mann Ki Baat? What the hell is this Mann Ki Baat, yeah? Let's talk about Kaam Ki Baat. Mann Ki Baat, chodo, as somebody said, Kaam Ki Baat. This guy from Karnataka, Kaam Ki Baat. Right? And then you have this, and I think this is very important, that this is a editorial. PT Usha misses it again. She could have voiced the change wrestlers want. Her insensitive remarks threaten to undermine their protests. Insensitive remarks. Had Usha taken a short walk from a Rajya Sabha MP accommodation to Jantar Mantar, she would have understood the gravitas of the moment. Lending ears to those on the fringes of the protest would have educated her about this, what this means to the wrestling fraternity. But hey, what has she got? PT Usha, her time, she's happy in an MP home while everybody else is out there on the streets. And guess what, folks? After this order that hauled up the Delhi police, guess what they did at night? First, they didn't let the food to get in. Then they stopped people getting water. Then midnight, they cut electricity. Go get that. This is India. This is democracy at its best. You call that democracy? Do I? Question mark. 3 cheers, Jai Hind.